Today on Comicstorian, Red Hulk is going to murder Wendigo. This is the Comicstorian channel where I take some of your favorite trade paperbacks and single issues and I break them down into digestible bites to help you understand. I take out all the fluff, the B plots, and things like that, and give you just the bare bones important stuff so you understand the storyline. This allows you to go out to your local comic book store and get yourself these issues if you want to add them to your collection, or you can get to the next issues and just know what's going on. Today we're going to be doing another volume of The Incredible Hulk, and this one's considered Red Hulk Volume 2. It comes up differently depending on how you search for it. But when we last left off, the Red Hulk had showed his face to the world, and he was seemingly working with a couple of other individuals, but no one knows who the Red Hulk is. And that is the big mystery. Banner got himself free from his prison and he's out looking for the Red Hulk right now, but on top of that, the Red Hulk is looking for ways to prove that he is not like Green Hulk. So this is the continuation of the Red Hulk saga. I hope you guys enjoy, and if you do, please consider giving this video a like, subscribing down below, and hit that notification bell. But as usual, watch the video first, see if you enjoy it. Let's get into it. Red Hulk lands in the snow hard enough to shake the earth, the heat and radiation drifting off of his body, and out of his bag he pulls out a large rifle. This Hulk uses a gun. He sights quickly and blows the head off of a deer. And a short time later he sits quietly by a fire as a Wendigo comes out, sniffing gently at the smell of fresh meat. Wendigo! The beast roars as it rushes at Red Hulk, its teeth biting into his shoulder, drawing glowing blood. Get off of me! Red Hulk shouts as he spins, firing his weapon into the man's chest. I've heard you tossed around the Green Hulk. Guess you'll learn the hard way. I'm my own monster. He snarls as he tosses the beast away, but the Wendigo is back on its feet quickly, knocking the weapon out of Hulk's hand and smashing him across the face. The snow begins to melt around them as Red Hulk gets angry, radiation and heat coming off of his body in waves. He grabs the beast, throwing it to the ground, pinning it as he pulls a heated knife out of the fire. I'm gonna make an example out of you, otherwise it'll be a sign of weakness, and that's not something that this Hulk is ever going to show anybody. He left the monster as a message, its limbs severed and lying next to its own bloody head. Afterwards, he leaped away. But from the forest came something that no one had ever seen before. A whole pack of Wendigos. They bellowed in rage and sadness when they found their kin before eating him. Meanwhile, Banner had been following the Red Hulk's trail for some time through the wilderness, Seattle, San Francisco, and he now finds himself in Las Vegas. But as he walks up to the entrance of one of its fabulous hotels, his eyes widen in shock. The crowd surges towards him, fear written across their faces as they scream. Monsters, run! Get a cop! They shout. Banner knows that he shouldn't, but he pushes past them, finding himself inside. The hotel floor is being terrorized. He wasn't the only one tracking the Red Hulk. Multiple Wendigo bellow in rage as they throw slot machines and tear through the unlucky patrons that haven't managed to escape. Banner takes cover behind a slot machine, sweat breaking out on his forehead. Stay calm, don't want to make things worse, he says to himself, but his body has already begun to contort as he changes. He turns to the side, seeing a young woman crying. Help me, she whispers, but before he can react, she's yanked away. Banner's body twisting as it begins to grow, his shirt ripping open, his hat falling away. But when he stands, he is now gray and smiling. Guess what, Vegas? Joe Fixit's back in town. The Gray Hulk laughs. The Wendigos all look up in shock from their meals, and Joe turns, smiling at them, motioning them forward. Come here. I want to tell you something, he says with a smile. Moments later, a Wendigo goes flying out the front window of the casino, followed closely by Joe as the other two are attacking him. He twists, smashing them into a sports car before throwing them across the entrance and into a statue. He grabs another, slamming its head into a car. I might have been gone for a while, but I'm not having you stinking jabronis mess my meal ticket up. He shouts, but he shouts in anger and pain as 6 moon-shaped throwing stars stab into his back. He turns in shock to see Moon Knight leaping down upon him. You're kidding me, right? You want a piece of me? Joe asks as he pulls the throwing moons free. Go, now, Moon Knight commands, but Joe smiles, dropping the weapons to the pavement. Make me, Moon Knight. Moon Knight tries to leap to safety, but Joe jumps after him, dragging him back to the earth. Moon Knight then pulls out a flashbang, stunning Joe briefly as he slams his fist into his ears. Hard to hit me when you're blinded. Moon Knight growls, but Joe easily bats him away, sending him into a nearby taxi. Now when you keep talking, jerk, he says as he reaches out, grabbing the hero by the chest as he raises his fist. You are way out of your league. So why don't you pack it up and go back to New York City or LA or whatever Candy Cane Lane you call home? But before he can bring his fist down, a voice calls out from behind. Hulk, this stops now. Miss Marvel calls to him. He turns, seeing both Miss Marvel and Sentry floating behind him. Let Moon Knight go, Hulk. Now. She commands. He nods. Sure thing, doll. Catch. He laughs as he tosses the hero into the air. Sentry doesn't even hesitate, flying up after the hero. I'll take care of the Hulk, Miss Marvel says grimly, but Joe just smiles, motioning her forward. The name's Fixit. Joe Fixit. Marvel rushes forward, punching Joe hard in the face, explaining that she's read files on him. She knows that he's smarter than the Green Hulk, but nowhere near as strong. She ducks a blow and uppercuts him. Since I don't get a lot of chances to smack down the Hulk, I figure I'll take advantage of that advantage, Joe. She says as she hits him again, sending him hurtling through the air and into a large neon sign, when suddenly everything goes dark around them. And I guess that means knocking out the entire power grid. Oops, she whispers to herself, but suddenly the Hulk rushes out of the rubble. Now he's large, he's green, and he's here to smash. Pretty lady smash pretty lights. Now Hulk smash pretty lady. Hulk bellows at her. Meanwhile, Sentry is catching Moon Knight in the air. I have you. Go limp, the hero orders, but the fist of Khonshu hits him with a flashbang. Back off, Moon Knight orders as he extends his cape, gliding back to the earth. You and Miss Marvel have only made the situation worse, and now I have to clean up your mess, he growls. Back on the ground, Miss Marvel rushes Hulk. Bad time to come out, Hulk. Now I'll put you back in the bottle, she shouts, but Hulk grabs her out of the air, bringing her in close. Hulk, not going anywhere, he growls, but that's when Moon Knight lands on his back, ordering him to release Miss Marvel. This is going to hurt, Moon Knight tells him as he places a device in Hulk's ear. Sheetface, take fingers out of Hulk's ear, Hulk yells, but he begins to bellow in pain as Moon Knight activates the sonic device, and the sound waves slam over and over into his brain. Hulk leaps away as the pain is ripping through him. Thanks for the save, Marvel gasps, but Moon Knight doesn't even look at her. Whatever. Hopefully he'll leap out of the city because we got bigger problems. Sentry slams into the Hulk as he leaps in mid-air. They collide with the Space Needle as the Sentry tries to talk some sense into the mindless brute. Hulk knows you. S-Man not Hulk's friend anymore. Hulk growls as the building sways beneath them, but Sentry just keeps hitting him. I understand, but you attacked the world, so I attacked you. This is different. I'm trying to help you, Sentry shouts as he punches the Hulk through another wall. Hulk bellows at him, growing angrier and stronger. Miss Marvel flies in, stopping the walls from collapsing. Oh, for God's sake, don't engage him, Sentry. You'll bring the whole tower down, she shouts, and Sentry quickly flies away, picking people up and bringing them to safety, shouting for the Hulk to just leave. But it's the shout from Moon Knight in the street that draws their attention. Remember when I said we had bigger problems? It just got worse, he shouts as he motions to all of the people, now transforming into Wendigos. Hulk and the others stop their fighting as they stare at the army of new monsters. Maybe Hulk shouldn't leave yet, Hulk whispers, and Miss Marvel nods her head in agreement. Yeah. The monsters all rush Moon Knight as he leaps away from the statue that he was perched on. Where's my backup? He shouts, and Miss Marvel nods, pointing out that they need to save the tower before it topples. Hulk has plan. Hulk smash beauty monsters, he shouts as he ignores her, leaping away. Miss Marvel sighs. I guess this means they're saving the tower, Sentry, she says, and Hulk slams into the ground, cracking the pavement, falling into the sewers. Now Hulk is in hole, and Hulk smells weird, he growls as the monsters begin to rise up around him, the creatures attacking, slashing, and biting into his flesh. Wendigo, stop biting Hulk, he bellows, and Moon Knight continues to fight the monsters as Miss Marvel and Sentry finish making sure the tower doesn't fall. As he peers over the edge at the hole that the Hulk made, his eyes widen in shock. Oh no, he whispers, and he stumbles back as a Wendigo-infected Hulk comes roaring back to the surface. Now I've seen everything. Can you take him? Miss Marvel asks Sentry, and he nods, flying towards the Wenda-Hulk. I can keep this up all night, Sentry says as he flies in for another attack, but he stops short by the Wenda-Hulk as he grabs him out of the air. The creature roars, bringing his teeth down onto Sentry. He's trying to eat me, Sentry shouts to his friends. Be right there, Miss Marvel shouts as her phone vibrates and she punches another Wendigo. She ends the call quickly, explaining to the other line that she is in the middle of fighting several Wendigos. And now we've got, don't laugh, a Wendihulk. I told you not to laugh. When? Really? Great, I'll see you then. Moon Knight demands to know why she was on the phone, but she tells him because she's getting them reinforcements. Suddenly there's a flash as a dark portal opens up and Brother Voodoo steps out. This is a problem, he says as his eyes begin to glow. Brother Voodoo? Moon Knight says in shock, but Miss Marvel nods her head. He's good, you'll see. She tells Moon Knight, and Moon Knight leaps down as Brother Voodoo traces a circle on the ground. Moon Knight reacts in shock as the magic user stabs him with the tip of the dagger. Using the magic of Khonshu and his own magic, his spell activates and a dark smoke begins to curl around them and all of those infected by the Wendigos. What do you know? He is good, Moon Knight whispers as he turns back to the sorcerer, watching him disappear just as quickly as he arrived. He doesn't stick around for the applause, my kind of guy. Moon Knight whispers, and as the smoke curls, everyone begins to revert to their human forms. First the Wendihulk becomes the Hulk, then becomes Banner. And in the confusion of the heroes trying to help everyone, Banner slips away. It isn't long before the morning light peeks over the city, recovering, and Bruce once again begins his search for the Red Hulk. And there you have it, Incredible Hulk Volume 2, aka Red Hulk Volume 2. I'll link the book down below to make it easier for you to track down yourself. Now don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And all of these videos went up early to our Patreon, so if you want early access to a lot of the content we make here, and some exclusive content, please consider going to our Patreon at patreon.com/Comicstorian. On that note, guys, I will see you later.